So the Antisocial Social Club drop is August 4th. Let's see, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so you can work that out wherever you guys live. But yeah, I'm still kind of on the fence about Antisocial. Kind of a controversial brand, but a lot of people like the videos that I put out for them, so I figured I'd do another lookbook review. And then also, this is kind of like not really a lookbook, but sort of, because they don't really do traditional lookbooks. Most places will post like an actual lookbook on their website, whereas Antisocial just posts a ton of pictures on their Instagram. So what I'm going to be doing is just going through their Instagram. I got it up on my phone, and I'll do some overlay of the pictures I'm looking at. And yeah, I'm just going to kind of tell you guys what I think about it. They started out the season with a picture of a guy holding an Antisocial riot shield, and it's kind of, I really doubt that they're going to do riot shields just because it's kind of big, and I just honestly can't see them doing that. They teased some rotiform wheels earlier, but those were just kind of like promotional for their t-shirt collab that they did. So I really can't see them doing a riot shield. So I think that piece is just promotional. But yeah, then they teased other actual outfits of like models wearing them. You got the one with the guy wearing the shoulder bag, and I'll kind of go to that later. Then another one with a guy wearing one of the medical face masks, and I'm not sure what he has over the top of his head. Kind of hard to tell. It kind of looks like another hood just tucked underneath the other hood, but I don't know what it is. Moving on, we have the Antisocial Social Club Motorsport hoodie, or not hoodie, but sweatshirt. I actually think these ones are kind of cool just because usually the Antisocial logo on the back of stuff, or like in general, is a separate color than the actual item itself, and it stands out. But this one, it has the logo on the back the same color as the item itself, and I think that looks really cool. A little bit quieter than usual, but you can still definitely tell it's there. So I think that's cool. I will say between the two colorways, I like the black one more. Just the black and red I think looks better than the white with the pink text. So moving on, they have some hoodies, and these are kind of just like these remind me of the emoji hoodies that they did last big drop, and I'm just not a fan of that. So moving away from those hoodies, we have the apron, and I'm not sure if this is supposed to be like a chef apron or whatever, or maybe like a work apron. It's kind of hard to tell. Kind of looks like it might be denim, so that's kind of more like a workshop apron, I guess. I don't know. But I think it's cool that they have the apron. I think that's a cool piece. Probably won't be too much, seeing as Antisocial stuff is usually kind of reasonably priced, except for their shipping, which is ridiculous. If you know anything about Antisocial, it's probably about their shipping. But I will say, I'm glad to see a piece like this in the drop, just because that's a unique piece, and they don't really do anything wrong with it. It doesn't look super cool, but it is an Antisocial apron, which is, you know, it's cool. So yeah, next we have the bags, and I'm not a huge fan of these. Just looking at them, they use the new logo that or the new font type logo that they've been trying to implement. They dropped a couple single pieces that use this logo, and it's more of like a block text rather than whatever you'd call the regular Antisocial one. But yeah, I'm just not a huge fan of that. I'm glad that they're moving, or they're trying to incorporate other stuff, like trying different fonts and stuff like that. But I'm just not a fan of what they chose. I think it looks all right, but just when it's stacked up on the like 4 rows of text, I just don't think it really goes that well together. I guess it does look all right on the straps, but then the bags themselves just look like they're super cheap quality. Just looking at it, it looks clunky and like bad quality. I don't know. You guys can decide for yourself. Moving on to the duffel bags, you also have the same like repeating Antisocial branding on it, which is really similar to the Supreme ones. So that's kind of funny to compare the two. And the quality on these also doesn't look the greatest, but it kind of seems like there's a lot less seams on the larger bag, so it doesn't stand out as much as being just like low quality. So I guess if I had to pick one, I'd pick like the duffel bag, but I don't really have a use for a duffel bag. We have 3 like city themed shirts, and they're just kind of plain Antisocial shirts. But then they have a city underneath. You got Shibuya. I forgot what the other ones are. the Bronx, and then another US one, Las Vegas. And these are cool. I'm not gonna buy one just because, you know, I'm not from any of those places. I don't really like have connections to any of those places, so I don't really want one. I'm not a huge fan of any of the colorways, so yeah. Then you got 3 medical masks. You got 2 using the new logo, 1 pink, 1 navy. Not a huge fan of that logo, like I said, so I don't really think those are very cool. And then you have a Camel Mask that uses just the regular logo in white. And I think that one's pretty cool, but I definitely have enough of these masks already. And I don't know, I'm kind of moving towards like, I think they look cooler with no text. Maybe it'd be cool to see them do some really small branding along the elastic. I think that'd look cool. But just like on the mouth area, it'd look fine if they left it blank. It'd be cool to see that branding, like I said though. Color wise, I think the camo, like that's a cool camo to choose. They have these Summit Dab tees, and it's bad times backwards. And that's also kind of just like I was saying before, like it goes in with those phrase hoodies and like the emoji hoodies. Like you can kind of lump all those in together, and I'm just not a huge fan of that like marketing strategy or design strategy, I guess. More just classic Antisocial shirts, but these are, you got one tie-dyed. You also have it in kind of like a weird wash. It's like baby blue and pink, and then you got the text in pink, and I think that one's all right, but if you look at it, the quality looks pretty low. Must be how they do the wash or something like that. Just a black shirt that says Antisocial Social Club, or it just says ASSC. I'm also just like not a huge fan of this one. I guess the quality kind of does look like it might be a different kind of quality, but that just might be the lighting. So nothing really about that design stands out to me. I guess, you know, it's cool to see them doing different stuff, but I'm not a huge fan of it. Now they have the military BDU. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, and they have a like gray digi camo, and I think they usually do one of these, like camo. They'll alternate the color on the back and the type of camo that they use. I don't think it's too special. This one actually looks like it might be a little bit heavier of a weight than the ones we usually see. More hoodies. This one looks like a really lightweight tie-dye hoodie, which is, I'm not a huge fan of the tie-dye, like hippie stuff. And then you got a camo, like a tree camo, like hunting colors, and it has the hunting pattern with, looks like pink text, which, I don't know, I guess girls will probably eat that up. The country girls. And then yeah, you got camo Antisocial tee with orange text, and I think this one's cool, but I feel like I've seen this like exact tee come out a couple times from Antisocial, which is usually like most of the patterns or the pieces that they drop, you usually see them recycled at some point. Comes down to the last 2 posts, and these were posted today. So this is another colorway of the very first one that they teased with the riot shield. I'm just not a huge fan of these like phrases. I don't know. People love reading negative reviews. It's like some lame stuff, you know. I just don't think they use very good phrases. They use phrases that seem like really cheap and like, I don't know, basic, I guess. I guess Antisocial as a whole kind of seems really basic. They do put out some hard pieces though from time to time, but I just haven't seen any yet that they've teased. And they will continue to keep dropping like updates and teases or like additions to the lookbook on their Instagram. But I wanted to make this video and post it a couple days early just so people could look and get some actual reactions. So I figured I'd do it a little bit in advance, and there's already like a ton of stuff posted, so probably won't miss out on too much stuff. We might miss out on some big pieces. I feel like they're probably saving the big pieces to post closer to the release. So if you are interested in that, just keep an eye on their Instagram page. But yeah, lastly, we have another hoodie, and this one has a graphic on the chest in the front, and it says stress over it, and then it's like a picture of an eyeball. And I think this one's all right. I don't think it's a bad design. I just am not a huge fan of it, but I think they did all right with this one, a lot better than their like phrase ones. And with Antisocial, you do really see like a lot of terms like this used, like they use stress, and they did like schizophrenia, and they do other like edgy terms like that or whatever, like mental health type things, you know, like Antisocial, so it makes sense. But I think these are a lot cooler than the phrase items, but also just I'm not a huge fan of this design, but I do respect it. I like to see that they're doing something other than just the basic Antisocial on the back and Antisocial on the pocket. There probably will be some collabs that get teased. I think they usually do like a Playboy and maybe like an Undefeated when they do the bigger drops. So make sure to check on their Instagram to grab those last like 3 days of teases. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let me know what you guys think of the drop. I think it's kind of weak, but with Antisocial, it's kind of hard to expect much. I really do love their flannels. I have one of their flannels. Should have worn it for the video, but trash quality, but perfect fit. Like the fit is beautiful. When I say fit, I mean like sizing, not like the actual fit itself. But yeah, the sizing on it is awesome. It's got really long sleeves, and I got super long arms, so that fit perfect. But yeah, I was happy with that. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about Antisocial. Let me know what you think about the drop. Other than that, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for Palace and Supreme lookbook / range reaction videos or whatever too. So yeah, see you guys.
After I hit metamorph, hey, I am a dog or little boy, hey, she pregnant wife in a Porsche, hey, that is expensive abortion, hey, I ran it up, fuck a portion, hey, ain't had no family like orphan, hey, my sister's into the orphan, yeah, on your face, my daughter.